Welcome in, and I'll pretty much get straight into the point. Overwatch versus Marvel Rivals characters. This isn't about character design, character strengths in terms of their own games, who can go in each other's games and no, nothing like that. Nothing about who is balanced better, even though I do have my own takes about that. But it's about character versus character. If they were to fight, I'm not going to go by, oh, this character does 60 damage per hit. Oh, this character does 80 character wins. That's not how I'm basing it. I'm going to go lore-wise, not gameplay-wise at all. Just what they do. Now, just to get to the answer, I don't want to be the type of person to be like, oh yeah, watch a 40-minute video and then you'll see the answer right at the end. No. Marvel Rivals would stomp the Overwatch characters. I'll just state that very simply. Now, don't get me wrong, I am a fan of both games. Hell, Overwatch 1 was one of my favorite games of all time. Like, back in the day, I played it every single day. Made several videos about it. It was just an amazing experience, at least when I was younger, because maybe it's a whole different story now, but I really enjoyed it back then a lot. I was pretty decent at it as well. And I mean, like, everyone. So it's not like, oh, this is like a support, DPS, tank opinion, no. Because in Rivals, I'm a flex player. My best characters are supports. And then in Overwatch, I play all three roles, but my best role is tank. Ramatra specifically, and I feel bad against him with this matchup because, guess what? Magneto would actually rip him apart. Pretty much anybody that has metal on their bodies, whether it be the ball or hamster, whatever you want to call him, Ramatra, Zenyatta, Doomfist, Diva. Magneto would actually rip him to shreds. Now, I'll say this. I know this Magneto isn't the same from the movies. Each character is their own. Even though they have been taken out of 616 universes, some of them have in Marvel Rivals, which Marvel movies kind of ruined that in Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness by saying the mainline movies were 616, but actually the main comic line universe is 616, so I'm not sure if they clarified in game. But let's just take the X-Men Magneto, the young one. When they were doing the younger versions of all the characters, and when the Apocalypse showed up. Apocalypse is a character, by the way. And he unlocked Magneto's powers. Magneto was lifting up and tearing cities apart, lifting up bridges from across the world. I don't think picking up a hamster ball full of metal would be any feat. Not to mention, in the comics, hell, if this mean Magneto was 616, which I don't think he is, 616 Magneto is way stronger. I wouldn't be surprised if he could move planets worth of metal. In the movies, the older version of Magneto could pull iron from your blood if it's a higher concentration. That's how Mystique broke him out of prison. It was made of plastic to keep him in there. And I think any comic version of these characters would absolutely solo the entire Overwatch universe, to be fully honest. Hell, there are some characters which bullets can't even go through. Even if you take Loki, his God of Stories outfit is in the game. In lore, he stole the prize from Iron Fist by stabbing the heart of the dragon, or whatever it's called. And he got a feather, he traded it with Doom, the prize, I forgot what he got, but then Doom gave him the feather in return. Loki used that to become the God of Stories. If you don't know what the God of Stories is, in Loki Season 2 at the very end, and throughout the whole entire season, he could time slip. If you don't know what time slipping is, he pretty much imagines who he wants to go to. That's the thing they reveal. He kind of figures out later in the story in Season 2. Which, slight spoilers, just saying, to many Marvel movies in this video. But he figures out it's not the time he wants to travel to, it's not the place he wants to travel to, it's who he wants to travel to. But he can time travel whenever he wants without a cooldown. It does hurt him a little bit. Like, I think he described as tearing himself apart and kind of putting himself together. But he can do that whenever he wants. And to save the whole multiverse, he had to do that several times. I get the different Loki, but he learned, like, everything there is to know about science in, like, 1,000 years trying to save the multiverse. And he kept traveling back to the same point over and over and over again, trying new things until something worked. Hell, nobody can compare in the Overwatch universe. Not to mention, Loki can also create giant castles, and just overall just anything with his illusions. In Loki Season 1, an older Loki created the entire planet of Asgard. And that's just something you cannot, like, comprehend. Sure, Widowmaker could see him with her visor, for lore-wise, to see where he is invisible, and maybe she can see through illusions, but I don't think bullets can go through Asgardians. I don't think that's ever been shown. I get Loki isn't Asgardian, he's a frost giant, but I think he's as durable as them, as Asgardians. Or Ultron. Hell, if you take any version of him in the comics pretty much, he can just unleash his Ultron virus, take over every single cybernetic character in Overwatch. Take control of Ramattra, take control of Zenyatta, take control of Doom's fist, make it explode or something. And the virus, it spreads. Ultron can solo the universe just by saying, okay, yeah, I'm gonna play like checkers right here. You go over there, you go over there, and you go over there. Okay, fight each other. Okay, I win now. Or he can just like open up a giant factory and just keep pumping out his Ultron bots. And with the advanced tech Overwatch universe has, Ultron would feast. Like, I don't think it's a fair comparison between the two universes there. I get in universe in Marvel Rivals, this Ultron version of him as a support is reprogrammed by, I think, Tony Stark to be more nice and to help, but he still has his features. I don't think they disabled anything. Hell, there's a World Breaker Hulk skin, which guess what? I don't think the skins in universe are purely cosmetic. World Breaker Hulk, his name is what he is. He can break open worlds. I believe one time a whole world was collapsing onto him and he lifted it up to save the people from getting crushed underneath him. World Breaker Hulk can solo anybody in Overwatch. There's nothing they can really do about it. Sure, some people may be vulnerable. Let's say Captain America. He can still get shot. He's still human. He's a super powered. Maybe Widow gets a good shot off on him. But he's still a soldier. He's still very good at actually doing planning. He knows not to get shot. Not to mention, in this universe, his shield is even bigger. And his armor may even be bulletproof with how thick it is. I don't think anybody can go hand to hand with the Winter Soldier in the Overwatch universe if it's not fast enough. If you just look at the DPS side of things, the Scarlet Witch and Phoenix with the Phoenix Force, they can absolutely solo anybody in the Overwatch universe. Especially with Wanda with the Darkhold. Hell, in the Multiverse of Madness, Doctor Strange's movie where he faces off against Wanda, Wanda can take over her alternate universe's self and pretty much do whatever. She can crawl out of reflections, teleport wherever she wants, do sonic blasts, take over minds, do illusions that only one person sees, cause mass panic. In her own show WandaVision, she was able to put a hex around a giant town to make it look like the 80s, 90s, 2000s. Every episode it changed. And anybody who went inside had their DNA altered. Imagine they're fighting and Wanda creates a giant hex. Also, mass mind control to anybody in the hex. They're done for. That's without the Darkhold. She can just cast a giant hex where everyone is fighting, transform everybody into a timid version of themselves, kill them. It is that simple. The Phoenix Force, it is super powerful, not to mention, even though it's not shown in game, Phoenix can go into people's minds. In X-Men Apocalypse, she was able to overpower Apocalypse, who overpowered Charles Xavier. And Phoenix absolutely decimated him. And Phoenix, without the Phoenix Force, mind you, was able to absolutely burst him down. A person who can overpower Charles Xavier in the mind. Granted, it was a younger Charles Xavier, but still. And later on in the movie, she got the Phoenix Force, which made her infinitely stronger. I don't think anybody in the Overwatch universe could stand a mind battle. People say, well, Sigma has a black hole. Okay, that's probably the strongest ability anybody has in the Overwatch universe. Even still, he can get bursted down, or Loki can time slip right before he doesn't, or just stab him in the back. Like, is it really a competition? I don't get people who say that Overwatch can destroy the Marvel Rivals cast. Because even if you choose like half of the Rivals cast, they can beat them. A fourth, a 8th, a 10th, a 20th, whatever. A 40th, a 50th. Marvel Rivals would absolutely decimate them. No matter which way you really cut it, but no matter which way you really put it, they're screwed. Even Emma, another person that's just very strong in the mind, can just mass mind control everyone who's not a bot. I mean, it's not really that hard to do. She's very good at it, and it would be very hard to even damage her with her diamond skin. The only person who I've ever seen do that in like a movie was Magneto by crushing her with metal. Hell, I even think Rocket can solo or get close to soloing the Rivals cast, because despite how he is in game, he is extremely smart. He was able in the movies to create a bomb big enough to blow up a living planet. He was able to pilot a spaceship, break out of several prisons. He can do a lot. He can create a gun that can blow up moons. That's not hyperbole either. Watch Guardians of the Galaxy 1, where he exactly makes a gun that can blow up moons just to threaten someone by blowing up their ship. He doesn't even have a reason to blowing up a moon. He just wants to do it. So how do you think in this age of better technology the Overwatch has, in my opinion? Same with Ultron. Rocket would feast. But yeah, I think Marvel Rivals will absolutely decimate Overwatch in terms of lore strength. Let me know what you guys in the comments down below though. Who do you think would win? Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next YouTube video. See ya.